Time to nick to the loo, okay?
Okay, everyone, welcome to the first semi-final. Jordan Church, Scott Gillespie. Not really seen too much of Scott play. Obviously, I know his results and I know he's a great player, but never really sat down, I don't think, and watched, certainly not for a while. I remember playing him in the semi-finals of an event I was just talking to him about there in Ireland, but that was a long time ago and I don't really remember the match. And obviously he's a very good player. Jordan, other than that match there where he said he was bogged down a little bit by Christoph, which can happen sometimes, has sort of blitzed through the field really. So I expect this to be pretty quick fire and pretty attacking. Joined with me by the man that made it all happen in the commentary box, Lee.
Hi Gareth. Yeah, it's a good last four of the tournament and some good players. The favourite's just gone out, beaten by Rob Warren, so all these four players will be thinking there's a great chance to take the 10 grand home.
Definitely, and especially Greg, who was sitting there watching. No disrespect to Rob, but he'd have been happy to see Rob hold himself together in that last frame, because, to make no mistake about it, he'd rather be playing Rob than Mark Boyle.
I mean, you'd have to think Jordan would be the tournament favourite now, how he's been playing at this event.
I just nipped off to do a bit of practice there while that match was going on, but I was sort of watching over, and it did look like that was quite a good standard leader match there between Mark and Rob.
Yeah, it was an excellent standard. Both players played really well, lots of dishes, not many mistakes. So, like I say, you can't rule Rob out. He's in the semi-finals, just beat the tournament favourites. But I just got a sneaky feeling that Jordan might bring home the cheese, as they say.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think he might have maybe a little bit too much firepower over the next, obviously, 2 long matches, races to 11. So, you know, it's potentially potentially 40 odd frames that, and he doesn't mess about either, which I think is important too, because over them long races you need to take the finishes out, and in my opinion you need to take them out pretty quick.
He'll surely be doing that. It doesn't take long, does he?
No, and I think it's important because the way that he clears up when you play at the, I'm not saying rush around the table like a lunatic, but when you play at a quick tempo, you're almost not exerting anything. You walk back to your chair and you've cleared up, and it's almost like nothing's happened. Where the contrast to that, somebody like Christoph, you know, looks like he's giving a pint of blood every time he clears. Black goes into the middle. We'll just stun across the face of it. It goes into the right centre as well. Ooh.
And a quick start from Jordan Church, taking the first frame. He even racks the balls up quick.
See, we are on the live stream, on the live chat. Anybody who's got any questions for Lee or myself, then ask away.
I think Rob Warren took the first frame in the other semi-final. So he's carrying on from where he left off.
And although both of those players in the other semi-final are obviously great players and have done well to be there, I think it would be truthful to say that both of them would sort of be happy to be playing each other in the semi-finals.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. I don't know much about what Greg's won in his career, but I know he was pleased to get through to the quarterfinals, to feel like he was actually in this event. Rob's won a few amateur events and got to the final of the World Masters many years, well, before the split happened, so it was like the true Masters. So Rob has got the pedigree, but he hasn't really won that big event, has he?
No, and it is a big difference having the experience of taking down one of the big tournaments, and both of them are obviously more than good enough. All 4 of the players left in are more than good enough. But as I mentioned before in the commentary, this is the first time that I've watched Jordan play in this tournament, but by the results, he sort of just flew through the winner's side, and he has got pedigree, Jordan. That's what I like about him. He's one of those players where if you see his name in the draw, he's one of those players where he seems to either lose early on, first or second round, or he goes deep, if not wins. He was always like that as a junior as well.
Yeah, I remember watching a match between Jordan and Craig Wadding won the Premier League. I think it was like 8-7, and it was over in about 20 minutes, and nearly every frame was a break and dish. It was unbelievable pool. And both of them players are just lightning quick, aren't they?
Yeah, and lightning quick. But one thing that they don't is when they're down on the shot, they don't rush the shot. They tend to be sort of, it's a little bit careless from him there to finish the wrong side of it. But they're quite quick around the table, but when they're actually down on the shot, they give the shot the full due care and attention.
Probably don't like to overthink. Just get on with this.
I think that's a good way sometimes, you know, especially when the ball, obviously Jordan absolutely crunched this break, by the way, and they were almost unmissable. And I think when they're easy like that, sometimes by walking around the table 2 or 3 times, you can almost look for problems.
Well, that's what Mark Boyle did in the last match. He ended up missing absolute roll-ins, and he got away with it because Rob let him back in, but he did take an eternity just to knock in, or try to knock him, 6 reds in the black,
Yeah.
when Rob had got 2 balls left.
And that was my point about sort of exerting too much. And, you know, let's be honest, you know, when they're in the middle of the table and there's no balls in the way, everybody's knocked them in a million times in practice. I think you have to just keep it as real and as close to a practice session as you can. You know, I understand these lads are playing in the biggest tournament anywhere in the world this year for the biggest amount of prize money, so it's easier said than done, but I think it is important to try and keep it as normal as possible. So the Court Club, I presume that's John Rowe, has come on the chat and said you got the A team in the commentary.
Yeah, I'm probably the Murdoch of the team, the mad one. You must be BA with all the gym you do, right?
Yeah, that's me. Hope you're well there, Johnny. You're still watching and didn't get a chance to say goodbye. You slipped out the back door there, didn't you?
Not for the first time.
So obviously it's still an open table. When he's landed absolutely perfect here on the reds, he can just pop the red into the corner. Oh, I presume it's still an open table, is it? We were talking there and I sort of took my eye off it, but I just saw balls.
He potted a red and another one went in. I don't know what the rule is on that.
So he's perfect for me here, just to pop the one into the top left corner as we look and just softly nudge on, push the yellow onto the other yellow, and he'll still be on the red into the corner. I don't know if he's even looked at that, but.
Okay, well, the referee and myself are in the commentary box. I'll have to just go out and clean his wine.
Clean his balls for him. So Lee went to clean the wrong balls there. Well cleaned, Kenny.
Done something right this weekend. Yeah, you can still go either suit. There's Jordan just said out there. He'll probably go yellows now. I don't think he will.
I don't understand what he's looking at here. I can't believe that he's not just potting the one into the corner and just pushing the yellow to the rail.
I think he probably is, but he's just taking an eternity to make that decision.
He keeps coming back to look at this one. And he's going to play this one instead. It's pointed there, which obviously tells you that that one does actually go
Screen in the
into the middle.
Yeah, between the two yellows in the middle.
I was the one on the commentary talking about not going into balls when you don't have to. But I just think that there was a bit of a given.
But if he does make the pot and get really good positions straight in, it was the right shot.
Yeah, it's the right shot, and he actually played the screw back on the red to land there. Absolutely perfect. He couldn't have put it better with his hand, and you know, he's absolutely dead straight to top forward and land on the one down the rail. This table, speaking to the players, is playing a lot quicker, or definitely quicker than the other tables. So I was talking to Mark Boyle, and he said he played on table 4 the match before, and this table was definitely an extra couple of rolls quicker.
Talking of quick, Rob Warner's just knocked another finish in. He's gone 2-0 up.
Good standard so far. It's been 3 frames and 3 clearances.
Yes, followed on from the last match on this table where it come out all guns blazing, both players clearing from their breaks.
So there's people on the. Sorry, they're just doing some work on the computer here, but I did see some of the messages there about obviously what a fantastic job Lee and Lee Grout have done with this tournament and the other tournaments. He's just put there, Lee, credit to you for all the hard work for this event and the others that you've done and continue to do. After talking to everybody this weekend, I think the general consensus is that they'd like more of these events, and they feel as though they're getting much more value for money playing these events than playing any of the tours or any of the other competitions that are around at the minute.
Yeah, they get good table time, and we try, both of us guys, to get the conditions right, don't we? We get the tables recovered, we level them. We try to be as professional as we can, don't we?
Yeah, I think it's with everything, you know, there's the interviews and obviously the standard. Like you say, there's a double elimination, so even players travelling from France like Christophe feel as though they have a good crack at the event. It's not just jump on a flight, play a race to 8, the guy goes crazy and does 5 or 6 from the break and you're back on the flight sort of thing. Race to 11 and then double elimination is a big race, and then obviously the most important thing is the prize money. Yeah,
the prize money is massive. I mean, yes, it was a big entry fee, but you look at anything out there, how many events are offering £10,000 first prize? Two others.
Well, that only equals the biggest ever, which, you know, back in the World Championship days of Embassy and 888.com when it was at its best. And even some of those, I remember, I think 2 of those that I won, they were 10,000 to the winner, but they were also 3,000 to the runner-up.
Yeah.
You know, this is 10 and 5.
Yeah, they made it top heavy, so like the first prize looked good, but I mean it's 10, 5, 2 and 1, so £23,000. It certainly is more money than the World Championships just gone. I think that was about 17. Granted, we've charged a higher entry fee, but I think if you look at value for how much you paid, how long you have to be here, over 3 days instead of 10. You know, work your accommodation out over that period of time, you're not far off the same entry fee.
And not everyone has accommodation, by the way. Like, I know Jack Whelan, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but Jack Whelan lives sort of 50 minutes away in Derby. He was just travelling each day.
Yeah, I'm thinking more on the other side, guys, where, you know, you're at the World Championships for 10 days, the cost of that, to stop up there for 10 days, where it's over in 3, you've come for the tournament, you've got your money and you go home.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a chance here. Get through to the yellow by the 8 ball. Just about the positional shot after.
So Jamie Faye's asked, is the £250 a man full up, guys?
No, we're still taking entries. Never full till I've got the full 250 off everybody. So please enter, send your monies in, secure your place. I shall be getting onto that after this one. This one's been my main priority after the one in May, which is a World Rules one, and I concentrated on this one, and then the last one of the year is at the end of September for £16,000 worth of prize money, and that one is amateur only.
And everybody here has said about, you know, wanting Lee to maybe in the future, maybe next year, he'll look at doing something along a tour lines. But for now, obviously, the events have been a success as they are. And Stephen Mitzi's there said, you know, we're not going to keep going on about the restrictions of who is and isn't allowed to play. But he said if it wasn't for the top 8 being excluded, it would be the best tournament of the year. It's without doubt the best tournament of the year, Steve. I mean, I don't know what the tournaments you've been watching, but come on, it's by far the best tournament with double the amount of prize money. How can it not be?
Yeah, I get the point about excluding the top 8, but, you know, I have to get the entries, and originally advertised it as a Chinese 8-ball rules on our tables, and anybody could go in it. And I had probably 2 or 3 of the top players to pay the money, or even put the name down, and none of the players wanted to play. So as soon as I changed the rules, and as soon as I changed the limit to keep the elite out, and bear in mind you've still got elite players here playing, the entries come flooding in straight away. Oh, if they aren't in, I'm playing. So there's not a lot else I can do, is there?
No, and that's what I said. So you either make those restrictions or there isn't an event. I don't think it's right either, and it would obviously be great for it to be completely open. You know, it's in my hometown. I'd love to play, and I'm sure all the other top players would love to play. But the bottom line is there wouldn't be an event if there wasn't those restrictions. So we've been over that a lot of times, and everybody is fully aware of why the restrictions are put in place. And listen, if everybody is willing to pay the money with no restrictions, then we'll hold an event with no restrictions. That's fine.
Yeah, if the top 64 players of either tour or wherever you're ranked want to send me the money, give me a private message saying you are going to pay your money, then we'll do it. But unfortunately, you can't get the money off the players.
Steve's been back on, says the IPA is the best tournament. I mean, come on, pal, when you're playing for a couple of grand the winner in comparison to 10, just because you're in a hotel. Not sure about that one. So, but anyway, back to the pool, and Jordan missed quite an easy ball there when he played a great shot on his third to last ball. He'd be disappointed to have missed that, and Scott's already had one go at the skill shot. Now he's decided, well, I say a go at the skill shot, he kicked his ball out, thinking even if he knocks the yellow and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'd like to go back on what he just said there about the IPA. A lot of the IPA players, I don't play on the IPA tour. You know, I see a little bit on the stream. A lot of them come to me and said, "Look, we'd much rather play in this event. We prefer the tables, enjoy the event. The format works for us." So the players are saying it themselves, not just the odd person on the stream saying they like it. The players are doing it themselves, and they're putting the money in. So hopefully that speaks volumes.
And just one thing to mention at the end of that is every single player at the end of this event will get paid out straight away.
I'll leave that one.
In cash. Straight away. So Zach's been on and said he'd be happy to still play, even if it was all the top players in the world playing. And, you know, Zach, you know, I'm sure you would, but there's a lot of people out there that don't, even though they do say that they will. You know, it's all about obviously taking the money in advance and filling the spots. You can't run a tournament without deposits and without the full amount paid. So, like I said before, just a last touch on that. If people are willing to pay the money up front, regardless of the restrictions, then we'll run the event.
Well, again, back on this match, 2-all, good standard. Just a slight mistake from Jordan there, but as a whole, it's been a really good standard. You see Greg's at the table. I'm not sure what's happening there. It's 2-1, so he's battling back into the match. And I said to him in his interview, and I also said in commentary, I think he looks focused, so it wouldn't surprise me if he took the tournament down. I know he's got to get past Rob. Rob's a fantastic player, but just the focus he has, he looks in game mode.
So, just touching on the pack here quickly, Lee, does that look offset to you slightly?
Maybe a little bit, but I do it all the time, and I don't even notice it, but I tend to tilt to the left-hand side down. I think a lot of players do it because they haven't got the line where it's on the table. Yeah,
it was happening last time, wasn't it? And you actually went out and told them, and obviously I'm not saying anyone deliberately knows they're doing it. And that's what I said last time. I think it might be an alignment thing.
Yeah.
That people...
I do it all the time, and
are
it's not intentional.
more dominant in one eye, and it's maybe a bit of an alignment thing where they don't see. But it's just strange how everybody seems to rack it up offset to the right-hand side, and nobody does it to the left.
I do it now, even though I'm doing it, and like you say, Sam, I think it was Sam that was doing it last time. But it would be better if the tables were marked up with, like they do at American pool, where they have like 2 dots at each corner. Yeah, or in China, what they do is they draw a line from the bottom of the pack down to the shootout spot, so you can guide where the last ball goes. Jamie, just to let you know, mate, all of the details of the next tournament are on our Facebook page, so you can go there and it tells you all the details. But obviously, the money does need paying in full before any spot is secured. That's all on Players Pool Events. If you aren't already signed on, sign on for free. Ask away. We'll try our best to give you an event that you want to play in. Goldie's happy. He says the fact that you get to choose from watching between 2 stream tables is awesome. Well, obviously now these are the last 2 matches, so glad you're enjoying it. I think it adds to the event where you've got the choice of tables, because most pool players don't want to sit and look at a 7x4 table and just seeing that. You want to see what's going on in the arena, what's going on in the event. I remember that the World 9-Ball Championships, when Barry Earn used to do it, you have like a main table, but you have a mezzanine section where you'd go up and you'd see what the event was about. And that's important. Yeah, and that's what Beard Productions bring to you. Are we over 10,000 likes? We are, and Paul's just given me a big smile to say that they are over 10,000. So I think that's gone up by the best part of 1,000 over the weekend. So yeah, and that's what Lee was saying there about there being like a mezzanine section where you can look out, and that's what Beard bring here. It's a very good shot there from Scott, and both of these boys don't miss much. It's going to be down to the break. And yeah, that's what they bring you. As you can see there, you can see Jez just stuffing his face with one of our gourmet burgers. And they bring you all the different camera angles. Lee said best streaming company around. I think I agree with that. Yeah, that's without doubt. And for me, working with Paul and George, anything I ask, they try to do for me. Might give them a few heart attacks on the way, but they get everything I want. They can see the vision that I have to bring a production of what I want to see, and 9 times out of 10 we get there. So thanks to them guys. They're happy as long as they're eating the polystyrene crisps from the polo shop next door. Yeah, they definitely like something you'd have when you order a television. Is he made a ball? No, by the raise of the hand. The good news is there's a little bit of a cluster at the top end, but he would have liked to have made a ball. Yeah, not as straightforward this time, and obviously can't get to him directly from the first shot, so a little bit more work to do. So Paul Hayes has said the prize money is the best in the game, hence why Leah's had reserves on the list. Maybe next year you can open it up to 128 players. That would be nice, and maybe we can look at doing that. It's just the time schedule, isn't it, Lee, to double, because you double the amount of players, you need double the time. Yeah, I mean, the format that we've got works over the 3 days because people want to play big distances and they want to have 2 chances. So then your costs go up then. So, you know, you'd probably need another couple of days. And I just don't know if the players can find the time off work and the extra cost that's involved for that. I mean, we tried this format first time, didn't know if it would work. Grauto does a great job and working out time frames and scheduling. You know, he's bang on most times. The only thing that puts us out is if one match sort of holds the rest of the tournament, but as a whole, most sessions run properly. And I think we were the only team that do put matches on sooner. We always say, come here half an hour before, we'll get you on.
It's just about common sense, isn't it, a lot of the time?
Yeah.
If you can do something to speed up, you know, it's not just about who's in charge, who isn't. It's about doing what's right for the players, and that's the way it should be. That was always my argument playing English 8-ball when they used to do stupid stuff all the time. And it's all about just doing what's right for the players and just common sense. If a match can go on early and the players are here and the streams are ready, then the match can go on.
It's just making the right, sensible calls, like you say, common sense. You know, I know there's some tournaments where they won't use video replays and stuff like that. I think I'm all for it, you know. If you can get the right decision, no matter how you get it, it's got to be right. And the fact that you can't do it on 3 tables down is just ridiculous for me.
A lot of guys coming on saying the format's perfect, the comp's really good, so I appreciate all that. And listen, you know, if there's 28 players queuing up to pay the money, then obviously we can look at accommodating whatever it is that needs to be done. But at the minute, it just works right with how it is, and who knows where it'll go. But I'm sure that Lee and Lee Grout especially are proud and happy of something that, you know, that they've created and that's been such a huge success and is having all this praise by not only all of the players that have played in it, but by everybody that's watching.
Yeah, and it was a gamble to go 350. It's a lot of money to pay for an event. I didn't know if I'd get it. I know there's been the £500 events before. There's been a grand amount events before, but they don't last. You can't sustain. You know, people. Only so many people will pay that sort of money, and you end up with a shorter field with probably less prize money than we're paying out. So I think the 250, 350 sort of works.
Yeah. So one visit said he liked my commentary on his last match, and he said it would be better if I played in the comp rather than commentating. Well, if there was no restrictions and I wasn't in China, then I would definitely play. Originally, when we set this out, as Lee said, it was going to be played to Chinese 8-ball rules, but on the English 8-ball table with no restrictions. And I would have played, even though I do fly out to China tomorrow. I would have played in it. So at the minute, what we do works, and you know, if we change it down the line, then we'll just look at that later on. I
think whilst we've been chatting away, trying to help with all the questions and give people the answers at once, we have to say how well Scott's come from 2-0 down to a 4-2 lead, and he's played absolutely superb. And Jordan just needs to hang on to his coattails here, because you know, he's only made one mistake, but he just needs to get him back, peg him back soon.
And I said at the start of this match that both of these boys have got firepower. And when Scott first came to the table there, we said they were a little bit tricky, and then a couple of minutes later he was racking them up.
Yeah, and our first... Oh, black's gone down, so it's a re-break. Whilst that happens, I met Scott for the first time and went over to China to play in the Chinese 8-ball. And, you know, people from different codes you don't see, you have a preconception. And I remember going to the bar and having a chat, and we got on great. So it's just strange, you know. You play one side and people make assumptions. But, no, it's great to meet new friends, and that's what they become.
Lyndon says best player in the world. They definitely won't let you play, Gareth. Well, you know, it's all on the restrictions, and like I said before, just a last touch on that. If people do want to play, you know, irrelevant to the restrictions, then we can look at doing anything. You know, whatever the players want. If it fills the event, then we can do it. What's the prize money in the event? So It's 10,000 to the winner, 5,000 to the runner-up, 2,000 to the semi-finalists, and 1,000 to the quarters. So you obviously make 650 just by getting to the quarters. I think that's 23,000 total prize fund.
And what a break that was. All the balls are going down the other end of the table.
And normally, after you break off, as he did in the last frame, and make a couple of balls and have quite an easy finish and the black goes in, normally you break off and going off the next break or dry. So, but Goosby's absolutely flying here at the minute. Is it Goosby or Goobsy? Goobsy. Not sure what the story behind that nickname is. I'll have to ask him that one.
Yeah, and the good thing to say is that 3 of these players out of the last 4 have come through the loser side, so it just goes to show, even if you do get down to your 1 life, it isn't over. You know, you still make the business end of the tournament.
I think a good point to touch on that is, obviously when you've come through the winner's side, it's a lot less stressful, and you're in the quarterfinals, but the other guys have felt the pressure of knowing if they lose one more match, they're out.
Yeah.
They felt that, they feel that where the other guys have come straight through the winner's side, and all of a sudden they're in the quarterfinals playing against someone that could potentially have won, 5 or 6 matches through the loser's side, and all of a sudden he hasn't got his 2 lives anymore.
Yeah, and they've been hardened up by playing a shorter race, so like you say, a bit added pressure on it.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you play a tournament and you can be in the quarterfinals having won sort of 8-1, 8-2, 8, and you haven't really been tested. The guy you're playing against has been, won 8-6, 8-7, 8-5, and he's sort of hardened in, and all of a sudden you 4-1 down and you panic a little bit.
Yeah, I think to a small degree that happened with Mark because he had a favourable draw in this tournament. John Chambers pushed him a little bit, but other than that, he would have been happy. So when Rob's come flying out at him, he must have thought, oh dear.
Yeah. And Oosby just had a glance over at me there in the commentary box when he played that good shot, and just to make sure that I was watching.
Oh, he's absolutely flying at the minute.
Yeah, and like you say, from 2-0 down, it's a fantastic response, and he just doesn't look like he's going to miss at the minute. And the last 2 finishes, they haven't all been over the pockets, especially the frame before. Goobsy. That's what I said.
Yeah, I think 3 out of the 4 players we've got in the semi-finals are quick fires. Only Greg that's a little bit more methodical. So whether he's got the sort of style to slow the others down. He's totally let me down this time though, Greg. Keeps winning. I wanted him in the commentary box. I have told him off several times. So the only way I'll let him off is if he wins the tournament.
Obviously, just to give you an idea of sort of how quick the pace has been in this match, they've almost played double the amount of frames that they have on the other table. It's 2 each over there.
Yeah, I think these 2 have ordered their evening meal so they can have a quick break between the semi-final and the final whilst the other 2 battle it out.
People ask, in my opinion, who is the top 8 if there was no race. At the end of the day, that anybody, if it was open, would be allowed to play, and obviously it's all about opinions on who from either side and from anywhere else in the world is within the top 8 at the minute in English 8 ball. I think there's probably 4 or 5 players on that list that probably go without saying, and then the others are all down to opinions, and I don't really want to get into a debate about all that.
I think there's lots of good players, either the top 8 or, you know, you sometimes pick 16 to be your top 8, and in different times of the year, really. You know, people have purple patches. You know, Phil on the World Rule side was winning everything, and then he stopped winning, and Tom Cousins took over. But you know, like Rob Owen, you know, he's come to this event, never played black ball before, and he's playing well. So, and he just took out Mark Boyle. So, it just shows a standard on either side. There's, you know, capable winners, isn't there?
Adrian says she's got one on the phone, one on the iPad, and listening to it all. So.
Perhaps she's on about pool.
Yeah, I was just going to say, be a little bit damp there, Adrian.
Wow, that's a poor shot from Jordan. And I think that's because he's just been put under that little bit of pressure from a 2-0 lead. Scott sort of flown at him, and just a careless one. I'm not sure what room he's got to get round. I think he might have to swerve it. No, he's coming off one cushion here. Oh, you have to hit this red properly, otherwise he'll be snookered.
And like you say, if those last 5 frames not have gone how they went, then the argument would he have missed that finish. And all he had to do was screw back to the side cushion, and he was sort of maybe almost a foot short of where he was trying to be. He says Jordan Church doesn't have a prayer of winning this match. It's still raised to 11, Keith. They've, as I said, they've both got a lot of firepower, and okay, what Scott has just done in the last 5 frames is obviously he's flew at him, but make no mistake, Jordan's more than capable of doing that back to him.
Yeah, they're both 2-class players, and it's just about getting your chances, isn't it? You know, cut out the silly errors like that one, but you know, end the balls, you know, break the balls open, whichever one comes to the table, you expect them to finish. A little bit careless on that one. Left himself a tricky one to the middle, I think. I don't think he's got anything else.
Will allow him 1 careless positional shot in 6 frames. And it's not a careless positional shot that's going to stop him getting the finish, in my opinion. I think he'll still get him. I think he can still snick this back into the middle. I don't think he can get to the one over the right corner, so I think he has got to snick it back into the middle.
Yeah, it's just about the cue ball pace, and it needs to make sure he...
And the direction. Can he play side rail and just with the right hand side to hold the cue ball?
Yeah, I was just concerned about him going too far. He's still on the one in the top right, but it was just a pace if he could just pull it up. So.
Oh, he's just going to crack the long one in.
Fair play.
And that just tells you how confident he is, because he didn't even wince at that, did he? He just got down and potted it as if it was over the hole.
Yeah, fair play to him. And we said Jordan's quick, Scott's quick. I mean, I've not seen much of Scott play, but straight down, off you go.
So Lee Mitchell says, where's the club in relation to the Stoke-on-Trent Moathouse Hotel? It's literally just probably a mile and a half maximum from there. Head towards Newcastle. If you've stayed at a hotel, you just go over the flyover to the big roundabout and just straight into drop down into Newcastle, and you're there within, well, probably 3 or 4 minutes drive.
So another big break on its way from Scott Gillespie. Absolutely flying at the moment.
It's a nice feeling, isn't it? Obviously in a big match like this, when you start playing well and everything's going your way and you just feel as good as obviously he does on the cue, that you don't feel like you're going to miss anything. It is a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's a lovely feeling, and obviously they've played lots of pool. Scott's come through the loser side, so he's played more matches, so he's certainly well oiled on his back arm. So,
who was the match that he lost to?
I think he lost to Rob Warren.
Was it?
I think he lost to Rob Warren. Not 100%. I'm sure we can get Paul, have a look at my little sheet that I did. I think it was Rob Warren.
So Joe says, what airport is near to our club? Well, there's Manchester Airport, Birmingham, East Midlands. They're all sort of around an hour.
Liverpool, 45 minutes.
Yeah, Manchester's sort of 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Birmingham's a little bit further, maybe just over an hour. East Midlands the same, 45, 50 minutes. So we're pretty central.
Probably Manchester will be your best choice because you got the train route straight to us. Yeah, it was Rob Wall. What was the score on that one, Paul? 11-3. I think Rob just turned up and blew him away rather than... but that is 8-ball pool. You get your chances, you can blow your opponent away. So it could be the final. Yeah. Certainly Scott's looking good for this one at the moment. I think it might be two. Is it still 2 all over on the other table? 3-2 to Greg, so Greg's done the opposite. He's gone from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. I think that one will take a lot longer and be a battle. So I don't think Greg's going to give much away in the match.
I do like the way Goobsy plays though. He is quick, but when it's a little bit tricky, like now, he's slowed down and takes his time and obviously works out what to do. He's not just a lunatic flying around the table, even when they're tricky. I like the way he hits the ball, and I like how confident he is.
Yeah, he just got the tricky one below the 8-ball, which looks like he's going to have to play into one of the 2 centre pockets. Goes in either. Just a matter of which angle he chooses to leave on his next to last yellow.
Joe says, well, what the trains to come on, Joe? You've got Google, surely. He's just put it on there for you. It's Stoke Station.
It's a bit thin on that one. He's just showing the path the cue ball's going to be travelling. So this will all be about the pace. Is he too odd? Just okay.
Well, he can pot it, but the black don't go in either of these 2 corners. So the reason that's a problem is because the cue ball's running away.
I think he's just gone 3-all on the other semi-final.
Mr. Carl says, what's the bus station called?
I'll help you with that one, Hanley.
Phil says, have I had to learn Chinese? They did ask me to learn Chinese, and I did try for all of about 3 minutes. So no, not really. It's tough. Although Lee's boy Harrison has been having Chinese lessons for a couple of years now, is it?
Yeah, a couple of years.
So hopefully when Harrison becomes fluent, then I'll get a few lessons from him.
Yeah, he's just went to his school and they've said he's doing Latin, French, Italian, and we have him teaching Chinese, so good luck to him on that.
And what languages?
What's that? His food preference, you were thinking? The other one can't be because he's only 7.
That's a...
trying to screw off this, and I don't think, certainly with it being a new cloth, it's going to skid.
Yeah, he's trying to dig it and hold it, isn't he? And I just don't see how he gets the grip off the side cushion to finish this side of the black.
I don't think he can. I was just thinking about that. He's thinking of just potting it and just trying to get a kiss off the knuckle or off the red, off the knuckle and back down and get lucky, but it's not good. It's not very low percentages. He needs like quarter ball on the red or straight off the knuckle. Obviously he's risking the in off, but he's in trouble anyway, so he's gone off the red, off the knuckle. Is he any good?
Oh, he's unlucky. I think he's unlucky because the white's just caught the knuckle of the left middle, which means he can't clip it back.
He's got the double. No, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I think he was mega unlucky because I think he worked out that he could hit the red and still at the knuckle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you hit the quarter ball red knuckle, you can get up.
He still thinks he can clip it in.
Yeah. It's gone for the double. Missed it. I fancy the double in the corner.
You fancied the straight double into the corner, yeah.
Probably because I'm better at them, so I can judge them easier than what most people judge the doubles to the middles easier. I tend to straighten them up too much, but I can see the natural line corner-wise. But for Jordan now, he's 4 frames behind. It's important that he does get back into this match, so he needs to take this opportunity.
I like when a player works out like Scott did there. He worked out, he didn't just play directly into the knuckle, he worked out that even if he hit the red he could catch the knuckle, and I like that he worked out, you know, exactly what was going to happen. Obviously, of course, it doesn't always work that way, and Jordan got a kick there.
Yeah, it was low percentage the shot he was playing, so he was sort of trying to create something, but
just the fact that, you know, he tried to work out exactly what he was doing rather than just sort of have a wing at it.
And he wasn't a million miles off, let's be honest.
I think he was really, really unlucky, the fact that the cue ball caught the knuckle of the left middle when it came across, otherwise he'd have been able to just clip it in the right centre.
Yeah, it's a well controlled shot from Jordan there. I think he can just run this through and take either the reds into the middle. One further over, I would have thought. He's jacking up, screwing back out.
Obviously both of these guys are good potters, and
well, the red must pass the 8 ball onto the top right.
Both of these guys, and Jordan did have, well, I think he had at least one go, maybe 2 goes in the Q school at qualifying for the snooker tour. So obviously he was putting some practice in. He's got quite a few of the
great shot.
Yeah, it's well controlled. He's got quite a few of the top snooker boys that play at Jordan's club. For those of you that don't know, he owns a club in Kent called Jordan's, and Barry Hawkins is the pro that plays out of there. I think Gerard Green. So obviously he isn't going to be short of people to practice snooker with. And one thing to notice about Jordan's cue action is when he comes back on, we'll have a look at it, but just how far away his tip is from the white. He's very sort of, Paul Hunter used to be the same. He used to cue a long way away from the cue ball, and if you actually, I think Jordan has got a little bit closer. I mean, I grew up through the juniors playing with Jordan, and I think he's got it a little bit closer now, but when he was younger he used to be a long way away.
Yeah, his eyesight's not as good these days.
Yeah, so he has to get a bit closer.
Doesn't affect him on a pool table though.
Just maybe have a look at it, and if you can notice it on the break here, but if you just watch how far away. See, he was actually a little bit closer than he normally is. Oh, it's a nasty kicking off. I know the cue ball was travelling, but it was a nasty kick.
And it wasn't the best of splits, was it? It didn't crunch him. Thought he was going to do his Carl Morris impression then. And if you've ever seen Jordan do it, well, he is absolutely amazing at that impression. And we should get him in the commentary box one day, impersonating Carl throughout the whole match of his commentary. So now he's going to work out how to waste the shot. And is he going to promote one or not one safe?
I think he's going to play the red onto the yellow. So I think he's going to play the red into the rail and just push the yellow up the rail and, well, hopefully over the pocket.
Off the other red?
No, just directly into the cushion, half ball, and just kick the yellow like that.
Yeah, right, okay. excellent shot.
So hardly not playing the world rules, the shots just don't obviously come naturally spot on, do you?
No, I don't see him, and obviously it's the first time I've sat and commentated on Blackpool rules, but when I watched Rob, I could see he wasn't quite knowing how to waste the visit, and he kept the white where it was, where a lot of the Blackpool players probably would have picked the cue ball up and wasted the shot that way.
You can end up getting yourself in a bit of a pickle trying to overthink it sometimes.
Yeah, and obviously the more times you do things, they become more natural, don't they? And you know, certainly for Robert, I think he just didn't know what to play. He was just thinking, I'll do that, push the black up. And I'd be exactly the same because I don't play the rules and still learning and watching them now.
And it is a complete different mindset of when you're winning and losing at the rules. You know, when you've got a ball over the pocket at world rules, you know, you feel in complete control, and you are in complete control to a certain degree, where at these rules you're not. There's always, the opponent always has some sort of shot to play.
Yeah, like for me, it come from the rules before then, which were the EPA rules. It was all about control and stopping your opponent from winning, and you never sort of lose that because you know, after playing them for, I don't know, 10 years or more, then you play world rules and you sort of bring a bit of the EPA into the world. Then you got, if you play these rules, I'd bring a bit of both into the
yeah, we had many conversations back in the day of practicing where obviously I was brought up on the world rules, and you obviously came from the older rules, which were obviously a lot more negatively set up the way that you played them, and the way you took your finishes out at world rules were different to mine, and because you always wanted to do, if you had a ball near a pocket, you always just wanted to keep it there as extra security. And I used to say, but sometimes you're making your finish harder by leaving that there.
Yeah, you're right. It's control and knowing that you can release that control, because you know deep down in practice you're going to get the finish 9 times out of 10, but you do revert back to, well, if I leave that there, if I don't get him, he can't get him. And you know,
sometimes by leaving that ball there, you're making the finish
twice as
hard. So fifth brother says, asked if it was me commentating. Yes, it is, mate. And he says he's just been watching some of my videos on the Home Leisure Direct website. I'm glad you're enjoying them.
It's a nice positional shot.
Yeah, and the table did run absolutely dead straight there, as you can see. He landed exactly where he played it. He's obviously potting the balls, as neither of these players struggle with that, but his positional play so far has been pretty good as well, which obviously makes potting the balls easier if you're right behind everything.
And our bookmaker from the Winning Post just come to me and said if you want to bet on Gillespie, he'll be odds on if he wins this match, but he'll offer 7-4 at the moment. So 7-3 up, big swing in price. Get a message over to Jed, you're going to get great value in running. So I think Gaz has liked that bet because he's just run off and put a bet on. Yeah, Paul Hayes. Yeah, Adam did a great job for us. I appreciate him coming and helping us. And I'm glad you've enjoyed watching. I've just said I've lost my co-commentator because that price was too good to let slip.
He actually made a mistake with it. He said it's 6-4.
I was trying to get you a better price, mate.
That's why I'm out of breath. I sprinted over there. Look. Harrison Leyland, when I'm back in China, I fly to China tomorrow. I've got 3 matches, 26th, 28th, 30th. The first match on the 26th, I play the Chinese #1, Zhang Yubo. Race to 30, and it will be on the stream. I will post the stream up on my Facebook page. Paul A says the coverage from Beard has been awesome. The commentary is great, better than the World's. So he's asked what time your matches will be UK time. So they'll probably be around midday UK time, because they're always around 7 or 7:30. China at the minute are 7 hours ahead, so they'll be around midday UK time. Well, if he can play it off the yellow into the middle, I don't know if he's left the angle where he can just top straight forward and kick it off the rail with a white. He's got the option of playing it. It looks like he's playing it off it.
Oh, it's too hard.
Yeah, he's too hard.
Still got a shot. Take it to the bottom left. I'm not sure if it passes the 8 ball. That might be an option.
He's got another option of just potting the one in the middle of the table, coming off the side rail and playing the double. He's got another option of jacking up, stunning off the top side cushion and getting low and potting the yellow off the red in the middle.
Yeah, the problem with taking the one he's nearest to into the bottom left, he's going to lose a cue ball, isn't he?
Yeah, and the yellow only goes into the bottom left corner from this end. So I think he'll pot the one in the middle of the table, and he'll either stun off the side cushion and stun over and pot it off the red in the middle, or he'll just drop it in, take his medicine and play the double into the corner.
Might fool us all and play the double on the one he's closer to off the back rail.
Well, he's playing your initial shot, and like you say, he is worried that he's going to hit the black half ball. If he hits the black cushion first, then half ball, then the cue ball's obviously going to go towards this left corner and he has no shot. Well, I say he has no shot. He's looking if he can pop the yellow off the red that's in the middle of the table into the middle.
Yeah, he'd like to make sure he gets right behind the yellow for that, though, wouldn't he? Because it's no good playing that blind.
No, and it's tight, isn't it, past the other ball, so...
Big frame, 7-3. He goes 8-3 or 7-4. Yeah, he's playing the shot I said originally, the double into the middle, the back cushion.
Oh, he's got it as well. What a shot this is.
What a call by me, though.
Oh, yeah, well done. Yeah.
I'll give myself a pat on the back for calling that one.
Yeah. And Goobsy doesn't look like missing at the minute.
I think Goobsy can listen to my commentary.
We are only sitting behind a glass partition, so maybe class is coaching.
Yeah, Jordan just give me a dirty look. Only joking. Not hard enough.
Well, commentator's curse again. After
himself a double, that's all.
Obviously he played on and off the top cushion, just didn't get into the cue ball.
Oh, good. And the black's gone in the worst position for him because he's gone in a safe area at the top. So he's smiling. And there's your birthday girl. Looking very nice. Showing his...
talking his ears off.
Yeah.
So Paul Hazer says, guys, do you play any 9-ball? And he hopes to get into the Moscone. No, I don't play any 9-ball, Paul, and never have. And I don't plan. I've just re-signed a new 5-year contract in China, so that's me for at least the next 5 years. So no, I don't plan on playing any 9-ball. The Moscone is a spectacle. Obviously, it looks great, but you obviously have to play all the events to accumulate the points for that. So unless somehow I was invited, then I wouldn't be playing.
Yeah, and that was a quick finish by Jordan, and a very good finish.
Good finish, quick finish, and made it look an easy finish.
Yeah. Shows he's still at it. The scoreline isn't affecting him.
Chris, that little type will be me missus, so go easy, pal.
Well, that was a good split. Not a lot of work to be done. Unfortunately for Jordan, he didn't make a ball.
Can tell you on the other table, Rob Warner's 4-3 up.
Yeah, he's 4-3 and he's at the table with a chance of a finish, but I think he's just made a slight error.
Obviously the reds are almost unmissable. You've got to be a little bit careful with the black. Don't go in the left corner, I don't think. It definitely doesn't go in the left middle. So you just need to plan your route a little bit careful, just because of the black.
Yeah, it's a bit like what I've heard you say on numerous commentaries. It's about the way you take them, because if you take them the wrong way, all of a sudden you made the finish hard and you don't get them.
Yeah, it's all about the patterns. An easy finish is only an easy finish if you take the balls in the right order.
It's only easy if you know how, as the saying goes.
Yeah. And somebody with good cue ball control can make a finish that is quite tricky, make it look unbelievably easy. And that's the key to it. It's the key to any sport. Anyone that's a top at any sport, they do make it look easy.
Yeah, and an amazing things happened this week in the world of poker. There's, is it Mark Shepard's father-in-law's won $2.6 million on the World Poker Series, and I have to give him a shout out. John Hess, is it? Hesp.
Yeah, I heard the story behind that, and they reckon that basically all he'd played before that was just some £10. The most he'd ever paid to enter a tournament was £10, and it was on his bucket list to go and play in one of the World Series of Poker, so he paid 10 grand to enter. I think there was around 7,200 runners, and a couple of weeks later he finished fourth and
just bought himself a new house. 2.6 million. It's just a shame that our game can't get anything close to that sort of money. Not in our lifetime.
I think the winner was on $8.5 million.
Yeah, it's silly money, isn't it? Better than any other sport, I would say. I don't think anything else pays that sort of money, is it?
Maybe boxing.
Yeah, that's like a different sort of animal, isn't it? Boxing,
but for just one-off winners check, then no, like the Wimbledon, the golf, they're a couple, $2.5 million. For a one-off fight at boxing, they're more. I think Schumacher, when he was racing at Ferrari, he was on $1 million a race.
Yeah, but as an actual competition where you've got like a field of people turning up, and you've got to generate some from prize money, some from sponsorship. It's amazing. importantly got the cue ball out into the middle of the table. He's got the right side of the red, so we've got choice of pockets to play the 8 ball in. Oh, he's going to be too close to the 8. This looks poor shot.
And I did say at the very start of this finish that they were easy, but he had to take a bit of care of getting on the black.
Do you think he's played for the black in the right centre? Because he doesn't go in any of those 2 pockets.
Does it just drop? Does it just drop in that middle, off the knuckle?
I think he's potted the ball into the wrong side of the pocket, and I think he meant to come further wide.
Or maybe even run past it and land on it in the corner.
Yeah. So, I mean, all the way now, 20 past 8. I think it won't be long before this semi-final's over. The other one's going to take a little bit longer, so I'll probably anticipate the final starting probably in about an hour. 9:30.
I think I'll just go straight to the airport.
Oh, has he played like a trick shot, isn't it, where you play it with screw, the ball goes out the way and the black backspins in? And that's what he's played.
And obviously, as a black ball player, you do play a lot of those shots where you get the ball going forward. I was actually reading the comments then, so I didn't actually see what happened.
Yeah, there was a group of yellows, and he screwed the 8 onto him and played the ball to reverse. And it's a shot that I do when I play exhibition. I put 2 balls on the cushion. You screw the black, which has got a yellow in front of it. The yellow chases around the table, and the black reverses through into the pocket.
So you're basically playing a skill shot on the black.
Yeah.
Call the police. Jordan's played a safety shot.
If he flukes it, he won't be playing another one, and that'll be it. Well, it looks like Greg's missed his finish on the other table, so I think there's a chance for Rob Warren to take a 2-frame lead. I think it's 4-3 at the moment. You've got 2 locals, Scott Price and Proctor in the other commentary box. We've had Scott locked in there for 4 matches.
Phil's asked, does Lee play any black ball at all?
Never played. I think I played 1 frame in an exhibition once where you always get asked a question, what rules are we playing? Is it Monday night rules, Tuesday night rules? And I always say, well, what rules do you want to play, mate? He says black ball. And I said, okay, well, you tell me what rules there are and we'll just play the frame. So, no, I've never played a competition to them, and probably the closest thing I've ever played to playing black ball rules is, I think it was called the Euro Pool in France many years ago, when it was the Bapto rules, and that's probably the only Bapto tournament I played in.
If he keeps leaving him a swipe at this black, he's going to eventually fluke it. And
that.
he just has, like that. Oh my god, I called that while it was making contact with it, didn't I?
Yeah, he made good contact both times on the 8, didn't he? He hit it solid both times.
And give it a chance. If it's flying around the table, it's got a chance. Just going back to that, it's quite funny. When you do exhibitions, I haven't done one for a little while now at English 8 ball, but when you say what rules are we going to play, and they say, shall we play Tuesday night rules, mate?
So shall I come back on Tuesday then? Yeah, it's amazing some of the things you hear.
Yeah, I agree. Peter says make the 8 a call shot. I agree. I think you should.
I think there's many changes you can make in either set of rules which would improve the game. You know, I think you could work on a decent set. I know we've said it before, but the Chinese 8 balls before they changed them were a really good set. I think when they took out the call shot on it, I think they sort of ruined it.
Yeah, I think when they took out the call shot, I think they lost a bit of their identity, which was something that they were different to the others. But they are unbelievably attacking, and the rules, in my opinion, are the best form of rules that you can devise for 8 ball. Okay, there is. I understand what Lee's saying, and I agree that it is better to have the call shot. So basically, there's no flukes allowed.
Plus, you can play, like, still from my side, you can still keep the tactical side of it, where you can still play an open, aggressive game where you can put your ball onto their ball. See, one visit, you got to play from there, and off you go.
Yeah, even the defence, Jordan looks like he's just give up and is just having a knock. He's having a knock in the club here.
He could still get him though. Takes this, plays a double.
It looks like he's just having a game in the club, and
he's good to watch. So
Jesus,
he's a lunatic.
Jesus, he was down his shot there before he put his chalk
away.
He's
been Cadbury's Parrots.
Oh my God.
Oh, Mr. Cadbury's Parrots killed him.
It's strange that. I don't know if we get a replay of that, Paul.
Bang of the cue.
No. Oh, it's just that it seemed to sort of roll around the pocket. That
I think because it had a little bit of spin on it, so he's not gone straight into the middle of the pocket. The spin's caught it. He's just gone right the way around. It would have been class out there. I'm gutted for Jordan there. I'm no bias to whoever wins, but just to see finishes like that quick is good to commentate.
He got down on that red, and he was actually queuing up to it before he put his chalk away in his pocket.
I think he'd lined up for the black. So nice, Jordan's turn to make sure he hits it and gets to full contact.
Well, talking of the poker terms there, though, you would have to say that Jordan is definitely on tilt here.
Oh dear. See, the mad part where I not coming from these rules at all, if he would have fluked that round and the black goes in, he would have won, wouldn't he? Obviously, if the white doesn't go in as well, which, from my angle of not knowing the rules, is bizarre.
No, I like the call skill shot because I've had this discussion loads of times, and a skill shot's not really a skill shot unless you've played it. You know, if you pot your last ball, the white flies all around the table and pots one of my balls.
This is a strange shot. I would leave that there because of 2 yellows.
I would leave the black there. That is a really strange shot. Okay, the black's out in the middle of the table. It is a bit of. I think the only thing that he could be thinking is if he misses the black, he leaves him on the red. Not that he was ever going to miss the black. And to be honest, with how confident he is, you know, especially a few frames ago when he just cracked that long yellow and when he could have played the snooker, that's not really something to be thinking about if he missed the black. I think he just saw it that way and
he's just running into balls for no reason here for me. If he's got the ball on the rail, he can just knock that one down or pot it, and he's got roll ends, 2 balls where the black is absolutely perfect. I think he's copying Jordan in this frame, just gone a little bit reckless.
And you know, obviously the winner of this gets to the final, but it is 10 grand to the winner and it is 5 grand to the runner-up. And Jordan was only 8-4 behind. And when he went for that finish, it was like he was playing speed pool. So I think that, you know, I'm not saying he played the finish like he'd give up, but he was definitely on tilt, and you could see he was definitely frustrated. This is obviously the biggest match that he's played this year by far, financially anyway. And you've still got to give it some care, but.
So he's a little bit too close to his workie, but he's got to be fine. I know under black ball rules you can't play a doublet, so he's got to get his cue tip.
I think he's fine because it's at a slight angle. Oh, he's really ripped it.
Well, he's been a little bit. I say a little bit fortunate. I mean, he would be unlucky not to be on anything, but he didn't really play a shot, did he? He just potted it and got down the end of the table.
Yeah, Dave's corner said he just needs to take a step back and basically count to 10 here, Jordan. He's not out of it yet, and I agree. You know, it's a bit early to be giving up, and the way he went after that finish, it was like he was.
He was dreadfully unlucky, though. You have to be said. I mean, he did go full tilt, like you say, but if the ball doesn't pop out, he probably would have got the 8 and he would have won this frame. But that's what you want to see in somebody, just the emotion of it. It's not just about knocking balls and the pressure. You know, he knows it's 10 grand the winner. It does affect you.
But you know, Jordan, you know, he's experienced, and you know, I think when he looks back, he'll be disappointed if he thinks that he's sort of just almost thrown the towel in a little bit. by rushing, and because all the way through the tournament, I know he does play quick, but he's been controlled quick. It wasn't like carnage quick.
Oh.
Now we have a tap break.
Oh.
Now he is mixing it up.
No, that's a first.
That
is a first.
He's gone from running around the table like a lunatic to playing like Keith Brewer.
But if you're sat in the chair that Scott Gillespie sat in, he must be thinking happy days, because I'm 9-4 up. I've got him tapping the pack. He obviously isn't thinking straight, because he would never do that normally.
Pablo says he's got Liam Dunster's cue. Yeah, Dunster likes the tap break.
Yeah, I've had a few nice messages from players not in the tournament and some in the tournament, so thanks very much for your kind words. I appreciate it. We do put a lot of hard work in, and it's nice when you get just a thank you. So thanks, guys. You know who you are, you've sent the messages. Thanks very much. I have also had a couple of messages from the sponsor. They're over the moon with what we've done, so hopefully that's a good sign. Because without the support of people like Supreme, we couldn't put the events on. We do pay out all the prize money and more. Another one of the sponsors is the winning post. Jed Ronan, who does an excellent job marking these prices up. Puts a big amount of work in, a lot of faith in the people to, not to try and do any shenanigans. I think the money sort of talks for itself to stop any silliness. People trying to make a few pounds. I think when you're paying £10,000 and you paid £350 to go in, it's a serious competition. So thanks, Jed, for all your work.
Andy Sheldon keeps posting all the results of sport that's happening at the minute. He says he's watching a few sports at once. Some of that's some of the water sports, Andy. James Wilson said can't get hold of Jed. I'm sure if you send him a Facebook message, he is in the club, but he only has got Wi-Fi. Maybe he's busy just taking other bets at the minute, but that's the way to get hold of him, through Facebook.
Or you can send a message on the Players Events page, Players Pool Events. He's on there, you'll see. You can see a post where he's posted the price. That'll come straight to him as a private message. Greg looks like he's on the 8 ball on the other table.
We can maybe cut to that at the minute, seeing as this is an exciting frame, thanks to Jordan.
Hopefully George can just have a quick look over and let us know what's going on. Yeah, and it's a little bit behind this match. It's 5 frames to 4 to Greg Bratton. There you can see it. Greg working his magic on the rack. See the locals behind. Michael Howard on his phone for a change. In fairness, he's done a tremendous job behind the ball, keeping everybody service. So thanks, Michael, for all your hard work over the weekend. Some of the Stafford Brigade will come over to support Rob. The last event, it was Jazz wanted they did well from that neck of the woods, and Greg's carrying the baton on. Back onto the main table. Balls have opened up a little bit.
Tricky. These are tricky.
Yeah, and what he has to remember, he has got a yellow tied up by the black, so you know he doesn't need to go balls deep, as he would say. You can just wait, bring your red into play, leave him behind his yellow. He can't do anything. That'll be one problem solved. He could go crashing and go into the 8, but I just don't think he needs to do that. Just at the moment, just try and he's tapped the pack, so he's given some sort of intention what he wants to do. Low percentage of landing on the ball here for me if he's going into the black. Well, he's seen something I haven't.
Going to develop it and put the white on the top rail next to the red. Slightly unfortunate that he's caught it on the way in. If he hits the red full ball, what he wants to do is make him play the yellow so he frees the black.
I think he slightly confused himself there, because for me he just bounced the red out and leave him behind his own ball and can't do anything. Rob's at the table on the other table. Not sure which suit he's on. I assume he's on yellows.
He is, and you can see he's just puffing a little bit there because he's obviously just come a little bit too low on that yellow he's closest to there.
You see behind him there's our sponsors as well for our next event. Holcroft Renault, Holcroft Group Car Company. Many thanks for their support. I'm not sure if he's totally snookered here. If he isn't, he'll have to cushion. He looks wide. That's a poor attempt. I think he should really know that they're going to slide, aren't they, when they a new cloth, so a slight misjudgment.
Especially when you're playing it slow, it's going to slide twice as much.
Well, if the black goes in the bottom left-hand corner, I'd just be dropping the other red over the pocket. I obviously don't think it does, so it's a bad shot.
It's a bad shot. It's a bad shot. Well, he knew that the black was going to go over to the left side cushion, playing it that way, surely. And obviously he's just smiling to himself.
We saw a few shots ago, couple of minutes ago that you see Jordan's head was shaking a bit, so I think he's just slightly under the gun at the minute, not quite thinking straight.
Double it is.
Yeah. We won't want this one to pop out.
And he may have to play a little screw shot onto the black here. Good shot.
Very good shot. So still hanging in there. 9-5. Did you see the finish that he did in his money match against Mike King, Jordan Church, that was on Beard?
Yeah, when he played the double.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was some finish, that was.
No, he is talented. See, now look at this pack. This has definitely been set up offset to the side, Lee.
Yeah, I think, like you say, he's just got one eye, which is more prominent.
That's definitely offset to the right hand side. That front ball's almost pointing to where the cue ball's sitting.
And there's our sponsor, Supreme, the new light they've got out. And below that you can see the superb table that we're playing on.
So as you can see there, obviously the tournament sponsor, and everyone will know who Supreme is, but they've now launched a new LED light which we've now got above our tables here, and there's a introductory offer that they're offering there, and the thing about them is they are much more cost effective. Good split again. I think he'd like to play the three reds that are in a little triangle there. I think he'd like to play the top one first, cut it into the middle and just bump the yellow out of the way. That would make things 10 times easier.
Yeah, because it'd open that area up, wouldn't it? And that would open the window for the other two below the yellow. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, you've still got the red in the middle of the three, which is awkward, but if you go the right path. I can also understand why he's taking this way as well. He'd like to come a bit further over, a bit further up the cushion.
He potted it fat, didn't he? I think he played on and off the cushion there. He got it too thick, and he's not like the cue balls. Finish there. I think he's okay. He's still going to cannon into the red.
That's a good shot. I think it goes into the top right as well, so there's no reason why he wouldn't take it now if he's plumb on it. Saves having to go on it perfect again if it only just goes. If it flies in, then it doesn't matter, does it?
No, but even if it doesn't go, he's still okay because it goes to the left corner.
Yeah, he could clear the reds on the right hand side as your last two and just draw up the cushion, couldn't he? So yeah. last thing he wanted to do was leave the one on the rail till last.
Yeah, they'll definitely take that now. And you say just play a little soft screw back just to where he is now, will be fine.
I think if he was going these way, these would have been my last two. I think I would have took the one out on the left-hand side and then attack these two.
I just think he was so good on that one to stun behind the one on the rail. He sort of thought to take it then, but he has come just on the off angle on the one on the cushion.
He's now got to get back up, hasn't he? Yes, he's fine if he stays short on it, but
obviously getting back to where he is now is not the problem. It's getting the cue ball away from the rail that's the problem.
Yeah. And he'll want to have the right angle so he can put his next to last red and leave it at the right angle to screw up for the black.
Played it well, punched it, great shot.
Looks absolutely plumb.
It was an easy finish when he started, but made him look even easier by being in A1 position on every single ball.
Yeah, looking at how the proceedings are going, you'd have to fancy Scott not only to win this match but to be a heavy favourite for the final.
I think Jordan's just played his last shot. He looks strong to me, Goobsy, in all departments. It's like he's got firepower, he breaks well. He's control when he has to be. And I think he's going to take some beating by whoever wins the other match. Even though Rob Warren has already beat him 11-3 earlier on in this tournament in the winner's side. For me, Scott has to start favourite in the final, whoever he plays.
Yeah, I think he's grown in strength. He's definitely grown in strength as the tournament's gone on, and he looks comfortable, doesn't he? He looks like he's here to take the money home.
He looks comfortable and he looks confident. He strikes the ball confident, and I like that he plays the confident shots. He walks around the table sending a message to Jordan saying, I'm going to win.
Yeah, no pot frightens him, does it? You know, he just gets down as though every pot he plays is over the pocket, which, you know, it's great to watch. people tuning in.
It's important to bully people. And that's how you win matches and win tournaments. 8-ball, you have to bully your opponent. All the great players at 8-ball have done that, and Appleton especially was great at that.
And the other semi-final, on the second stream table, 6-5 to Greg Batten. Flying the flag for the Southwest. I'm sure they're all tuning in. None of them will hear what I'm saying because they'll all be listening to that one.
These headphones are hurting my lugs. I feel like I've had them on for a month.
You've had a session off, mate. Give over. Is there any news on Neil? Has he had his baby yet?
No news. But Neil is that laid back, he probably doesn't know.
Well, if he's anything like him, be taking his time. Likes to make the most of it. If he's practicing for a few days, he's probably the biggest practice I've ever known, really. He's just constantly
He's on the table more than the cloth.
Fantastic player. Dedication, second to none, really.
And I think he's, Neil's technique and the way that he is sort of leans that he has to practice. He's got one of those techniques and styles that he's one of those players where if he doesn't practice, maybe a lot of it's mentally, but he does feel like he struggles if he doesn't put the hours in.
But I've been on the tours with him where he gets beat and you go back in the room at like 12 o'clock and he's practicing. It's like the last thing I would want to do is pick the cue out, but he just loves the game.
Yeah, you wouldn't be practicing after you got beat because you wouldn't be able to find your cue, would you, after you've thrown it somewhere?
It might have had the odd launch in its time, but I'm getting better with old age. Sort of accept the defeats a bit more now.
So this black for the final, and what has been a really, really solid performance. Give it the fist. Black goes right in the middle of the pocket, almost like every other shot did in that match, and that was a really, really good performance. And after what I've seen there, I think he's going to take some beating if he plays like that, whoever he plays. So unlucky to Jordan. I think up till then he was probably the player of the tournament. He'll be disappointed obviously to lose there, but still a fantastic run getting to the semis.
Yeah, I think like you said, guys, he got put under a lot of pressure, and he does play quick. He just got one match too far for him there. Scott's right at the business end now, and he looks determined to take the money home, doesn't he? I'll go and grab him, have a quick interview with him.
So we will be back on this stream, obviously, for the final. This is the main table. Whenever the other semi-finals finished, we'll be back with you. We're just going to cut to an interview now.
Not paying you out otherwise. Said you checking the post. Where it's gone. Congratulations, you're through to the final of the Supreme Masters. How does that feel so far?
Yeah, I'm buzzing, to be honest, because it's a big tournament. I mean, it's probably one of the biggest I've played in. And as I said to you earlier on, I think it was maybe yesterday, see if my break starts working. I know I'm capable of taking it down, and the game's just so much easier when you're getting balls off the break. I mean, I was up against it for the start against Jordan, and I know he's obviously just come off a good one against Christoph, but Jordan's kind of, he needs to be flowing, and obviously he started off 2-0, but I've then rattled off 6 in a row, and kind of I think that's just kind of been the difference, you know what I mean?
Well, I think you got your confidence up and you look like you're here to take the money away. So I've said in the commentary box, you look in the zone and you feel, well, I think you look like it's really comfortable. And out there, that's what you did. You didn't miss. Every pot looked like it was over the pocket, no matter how hard it was.
I mean, what I've decided to do is sometimes I've just been standing back on my shot and kind of doubt myself a wee bit because I've not got the tournament kind of matches behind me. I'm not playing as much as I used to years ago, and you're fearless when you're young. So I've just been going right down, playing the first shot I see, and no think about it basically. And it's helped me that match. I played really well.
Yeah, you certainly played a positive game, and you didn't miss much. It was a very high standard. So many congratulations.
Cheers, thanks.
We'll get the final after the semi-final.
Magic.
Any preferences between the two? Would you like revenge on Rob?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the one you wanted. I think he's 6'5" down at the minute.
I mean,
but
always doesn't matter. I mean, both of them are good players, but I would love a wee bit of revenge.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed with Greg, he looks determined. For me, taking the fact that Rob's local, the two players look the most determined of you two. So I think my sneaky feeling it is going to be Greg Rover.
He's got a wee bit of support as well, so that cheers you up, and I love that.
You like,
yeah, definitely.
Well, we don't know yet. We'll see what happens.
Cheers.
Best of luck, miss.
Thanks.
Cheers.